Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our video series related to disability issues. I'm Al Condeluci, and these videos are a production of classcommunity.org. You may have seen some other videos up on YouTube or on our website that list us as UCP class. We are now class communities. We've become independent from UCP in a very amicable way, and now we're known as classcommunity.org. So love you to take a look at our website and see some of the good things that we're doing in Pittsburgh. Today, however, we really want to talk about the notion of social capital. We hear this term now increasingly in the field of disability awareness and disability advocacy. And we here at Class Community have really made social capital our signature piece. We really feel that it's the cornerstone issue of assisting people who have disabilities to live full and inclusive community lives. And I wanted to introduce you to social capital in this video and talk a little bit about how powerful it is. Social capital was really first used as a term in 1916 by an educator by the name of E.L. Hanifan. Hanifan was referring to social capital really in a framework of relationships, and he was tying it to educational success. And he was postulating very early on, 1916, he was postulating that social capital was a critical ingredient to educational success. Hanifan was a prophet in his time, because clearly today there's been over 40 years of research on social capital that talk about how powerful it is and how important it is in people's lives. In particular, we've really identified this as a key ingredient for people with disabilities, because what we know today is that if people experience a disability, they're at risk of losing social capital. And so what I'd like to do is really talk a little bit about social capital and the value of social capital. First off, social capital is nothing more than our friendships and our relationships that we have in our lives. It's an important piece of who we are as human beings. As social animals, we need other people. We need each other. Now, social capital has really been associated with valuable things in our lives. And the very first thing that really we need to understand in terms of the value of social capital is that it brings instrumental value. Instrumental value. And what we mean by instrumental is that it brings a tangible quality to human life. In short, what this really means is that if you have an issue you're dealing with, and you turn to one of your, social capital connections, a friend, a relationship, your significant other, and you talk to them about your issue, often they're able to actually give you some ideas that can clearly be a part of what's going to work well for you. That's called instrumental value. The second value that social capital brings is really called emotional value. And emotional value are literally those knowing that you have people behind you, supporting you, ready to bail you out, ready to help you. And emotional value is really knowing that when the chips are down, you have somebody to turn to. Now, the difference between instrumental value is the actual tangible exchange. So if you're moving from one apartment to another apartment, you call your friends, they help you move, and actually that instrumental, tangible notion actually is valuable to you because it saves you from having to hire a moving company. Emotional value is just knowing that there's people there in your life. And then thirdly, equally important, is what we call informational value. Informational value. And with informational value, these are when your friends actually tell you something or give you some information that actually comes back to help you. They tell you about a good book, or maybe they tell you about a restaurant. You go to that restaurant or you read that book, and it's significantly important to you. So social capital and your friendships, your relationships, really bring these three key values in your life. Now, social capital over the years has been studied, and it's related to some very, very powerful things, and I'd like to just summarize them for you today. First and foremost, we know that social capital is related to healthfulness, and that actually your health is increased and enhanced by your social capital. And there's actually theory of why that exists. And that theory is simply this. When you have a lot of relationships or friendships, or you have a rich field of social capital, then your stress levels actually go down. And as your stress level goes down, because you know you have more people that you can call upon if bad things happen to you, then with your stress going down, your immunity system goes up. Literally, you're healthier because of social capital. But that's not, I mean, that's very powerful. But added to that is the notion of happiness. Happiness and healthfulness are two of the most important quality of life indicators. And with happiness, we know that what makes people happy is their relationships. When something good happens in your life and you want to celebrate it, you actually want to celebrate it with other people. We also know that advancement in your job, achievement in school, are tied to social capital. Quite simply, the more relationships you have, the better you feel about yourself, the more you advance, the more you achieve. And probably the most powerful notion of what's related to social capital is longevity. And longevity meaning life expectancy. And actually studies have shown very conclusively that the more relationships people have, the longer they live. And so as we look at and think about what's most important in the work that we do in the disability arena, it really gets back to the power and prominence of social capital. And so if you go to our website, www.classcommunity.org, you'll find more information about the work we're doing in social capital. You'll find some readings. If you take a look at some of our books that we have listed, in fact, a new book out recently on social capital really outlines and articulates all this. So thanks so much for being a part of this video series, joining in with us here at Class Community as we look to build a community where each belongs. Thanks so much, and see you next time.